That's it. I have to deal with my own thing. I signed up for this shit, right? I did. I signed up to this shit when I said that I'd be his lawyer. I knew what I was getting myself into. But it's just, I need to be able to fight this properly, Dark, and I need the charges.
I get it.
And we have to play with everything from there.
Did they grab you?
Not yet.
Okay.
It'll happen. And I would assume that the Cross passed on the information.
Cross?
Oh, don't.
What about Cross?
Have you not spoken with Cross? Has no one spoken with Cross, for the love of Christ?
What happened with Cross?
Don't do me like this.
I know already, chat.
Dark, are you playing coy with me?
Is Cross okay?
Cross is perfectly fine. Dark, I hope you're not playing coy with me with this. I really do. Names were given to Cross.
What kind of names
that are involved? You guys should have all that information. I have no doubt in my mind that he wouldn't tell you everything, because I told him to respond back with everything that he hears.
I mean, I haven't spoken to him personally, so maybe he's waiting to do that with me.
I would assume that he would have spoken with someone that day. You guys would have information on this.
Everybody who's involved with what? On the Simone side or the other side?
People that have been doing the attacking.
Right.
You guys have names.
Okay.
Which is why I'm surprised that nothing's been done.
I'll figure that out.
Please just talk to Cross.
I will.
Just hear the man out and listen to what he says and what he has to know. I am fully aware of the fuck situation that I put him in, but all you've got to remember is that Cross has plenty to report, and the reason why I spoke with Cross is because I knew he'd actually listen.
Right. Okay. I'm just concerned, Reggie. Let's say you get kidnapped, which I'm hoping doesn't happen.
I will.
But let's say you do. What's stopping them from killing you?
That's the it's a question of the hour for me, isn't it, Doc? It's just like I said, when I took this job, I know what I'm getting myself into. Sure, I can have safety nets in place. I have safety nets in place, but at the end of the day, you just gotta hope that I can push through whatever's thrown at me, right? I am Michael's best chance of being able to have a fair trial and to defend him. Hence why I got my bar license back. During that time that I was saying that I was a legal aid for him, I had already set up for me to get my bar license back, and I was going through an expungement. I knew I had a safety net for that and that I couldn't be fucked over. DOJ were aware of my intentions. So everything I do has a safety net of some degree, but yes, you're right, Dark. There is a high probability that I am going to get kidnapped, I'm going to get harmed, I'm going to get shot, I'm going to get drowned. All we've got to do is hope that I can push through it, and I can still stand there on the day and defend him. That's my concern.
I understand you're a good lawyer, Reggie, but from what you've told me, that's all you are to Michael. So, I think if you get kidnapped, you've got to give up some information. whatever information you have. This is me talking as a dog to Reggie, not assistant chief here. If your only loyalty to Michael is being his lawyer, then don't waste your life on him, because he hasn't stepped forward for anybody else to stop these attacks happening. Which means he doesn't care enough to give up his own life for everybody else's that are being endangered because of him. And that goes for you too.
Sad part? You wanna know the sad part, Doc?
What?
You're absolutely 100% wrong. He does want to give up his life for that shit. He has mentioned that. But you're wrong. You guys might think that he's a bit more of a monster than he is, but he does care, and it does affect him for that shit. But like I said, anyone that had any kind of contact with him, unfortunately, it is one of those things. If they had more of a contact with him than they let on, or that anyone knows about, other than the two of them, they signed up to that shit. Just like I signed up to being his lawyer. No one held a gun to my head to be his lawyer. However, I'm not going to let a man go down for crimes that a lot of the ones that I looked at last time, Dark, he didn't even fucking do. And I can tell you that because he told me everything. He hasn't hidden shit from me. Because he knows that if he lies to me, I can't defend that shit. If I know the truth, I can help him. Just like any other lawyer does. I looked through the charges originally. There was so much shit I could get him off because they were just fucking wrong. But yes, he does care about these people. And him is just like every other client that I have had. I never charge people for my time because I want to make sure that they have adequate defense. I became a lawyer because I was sick of people getting fucked over. Just because, fuck you, take these charges. Plead guilty or not guilty. Nah. I don't care about money or anything like that. All I care about is to make sure I can do my best job to get someone off the charges that they should not be charged. And unfortunately for me, yes, I have been put into lots of fucked up situations before. I have been shot over defending people many a times. I've been through hell and back. But at the end of the day, if I can stand there and say I did my best, and that person doesn't get sentenced to death, that person doesn't get exiled to Guantanamo Bay, then I'm happy with myself. But don't for a second think he doesn't care about the shit that's happening.
All I'm saying is if it was my family, I would have been dead already. Something to think about.
Yeah, and for me, sometimes there's someone whispering in your ear telling you not to do that, but it's not in their best interest, then maybe they listen to that person instead. Because hell, those people that have been through hell already, and those people that wouldn't say a fucking thing and held on to everything, just threw away all that pain for nothing. Not everyone needs to be a hero. Some people do need to still be there so they can see them at the end of the day.
I get it. Listen, I'll see what I can do with well, I'm not gonna do anything. I'll talk to Brian. I can't promise to give you any information on that, but
I don't need information. I just want charges. That's it.
Yeah.
You do what you have to do. I just want to do what I have to do, which is get the charges, get this ball rolling so he can have his day in court. That's it. All Michael wants. Yes, it does mean that eventually he's probably going to get fucking blown up inside fucking prison. But at least he's had his day in court and he tried.
Okay. I get it. Well, well, you know, anytime you need talks like this, I'll make time for it, okay?
I appreciate it, Doc.
You, don't get kidnapped, please, Reggie.
I will. But I've got contingencies. It's fine.
All right.
See you later, Doc.
Tell you what,
Spicy!
I stuck dick in these knee pads. It worked great.
Spicy, dude! Listen, I feel very lucky to be part of such a cool storyline, dude. It's nice. All I'm saying is Brian is playing the villain in a from a cop POV very well for them, clearly. Few things Dark gets out of these, well, that talk with Reggie. There's definitely an air of, you know, Michael deserves some sympathy here, which Dark, you know, doesn't really buy. There's also an air of, it might not be the angle, but it's definitely like a bit of sowing some seeds of doubt on the charges above Brian's head. But Dark kind of sees that as, like, it doesn't really matter, like, what charges get pushed, as long as they're, given it's a docket case, everything has to be proven in court anyway. So, you know, Brian could throw on a bunch of, like, garbage traffic charges on there, and it wouldn't matter anyway, because they're just thrown out in court. Obviously, he shouldn't do that, but, like, it's not a big issue. Yeah, exactly. Like, I think this is going to be a very good court case, and I think I'd rather Brian push charges that we have the evidence to fit, you know, even if some of that is, like, circumstantial or whatever. Wasn't there, like, a bunch of 13s going on? What did I miss? I don't know. Maybe I missed it. Yeah, Dark's definitely in that kind of, that ball zone of, like, he doesn't have any sympathy for Michael, but he has sympathy for what Reggie is trying to do, which is give Michael a fair trial, right? I need to add some shit to my list now. My to-do list. Hold on. Why's that moved? There you go. Alright, let's do this. Talk to Brian about we talk. I'll just quickly put in here. He was on about, like, getting the charges on the docket. Would turn himself in if the charges were up. Bank tracking without warrant. Okay. What's the other thing I wanted to do? Oh, I've literally just forgotten it. My brain. I can't remember what the other thing was. Out of that conversation, I was going to do another thing. Yeah. What was it, dude? I think I lumped it all into one. I'll be honest. Should I put this under? I'll put it under the detective stuff. Should we look at the docket? This is the thing I've been thinking about lately, is, like, how hands-on do we want to be with Dark and, like, police work and shit? Yeah, I mean, what with Reggie saying like people being too invested about shit, it's kind of hard not to be with the PD. Um, yeah, Notion, yeah, it's great. I love Notion. Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of people in the storyline. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to do. Is talk with High Command and DOJ about getting a secure location to hold Michael. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's very hard. I mean, Dark doesn't have an emotional connection to it, really. But listen, do I have Brian's paperwork for this case? I think I might just have a summary somewhere. Maybe not. And I think you said I can transfer. Yeah, I think I just have his. This is from middle March. And let me have a look at the docket really quick. We know the charges. I think we know the charges. Yeah. I think you wanted to push terrorism, treason, and one more that I can't remember. Personal, yeah. Docs definitely has a personal thing in this, but I can't look at this sealed. Oh, I think it was weapons trafficking. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I was gonna look at the docket, but he said it's gone. Yeah, because I remember when I can't remember exactly how we got there, but I was one of the officers that was in that raid that was down on the boat, which I'm pretty sure was Michael Simone at the front of this boat, and there was like the container with the weapons bench inside. I think that was connected to Michael Simone. Again, I can't remember. Cops are a bunch of pussies wearing a tinfoil hat so you can't track this. Jesus Christ, Reed. He's such an idiot. Okay. That was a very good talk. I like that. I got so many things to push to high command. So I'm gonna start with the Michael Simone one. And I'll do it. I was asking about. I'm asking High Command if we know of any places that might be more secure, even if Maxek is secure enough to hold him. We've talked to Copper, yeah. Not about the incident, though. I think I want to figure out who exactly is running everything, not on the Simone. I need like a case board. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna see if we can get a case board running. Make a investigation case board. Just like we have the bulletin board now, I think we need to get a case board up and running because it's getting kind of ridiculous at this point. How many people are working on different things when it's connected? Like I think Hayes is working on some of the kidnappings for the Simone incident. I know we had that situation with Snow yesterday with like the flares. I think Copper's on duty actually. I was gonna go. I wanted to talk to her about the NBW stuff. But is anybody else around that we want to speak to about other things? In the meantime, when did the reshuffle happen? What date was the reshuffle? Reshuffle was March 6th. Hold on, let me just sort. No, I'm getting my sorry. I'm doing things that you can't see. I want to get this calendar sorted out sooner rather than later. Just so we have a thing going on. I want to figure out when I got Britcop Friday that we're gonna try out. I want to figure out when I want to talk to Tommy today about when the quiz night is up at the pub, because I want that to be like an LSPD thing. When was the reshuffle? March 6th. How many days ago was that? It was 1, 2, 3, 4. It's literally been a month. So it's been 29 days. God damn. Okay, let me just sort this by date descending. Yes. Uh-oh, I fucked it up. There you go. So we've got Corrupt Cops Anonymous. I need to talk to Brad about getting that every week. I want to talk to Monroe about getting Gamblers Anonymous every week. The Shift 2 meeting, and then there's a Shift 3 meeting that we want to fit in there. I put a new project up today, which is a community project. Because right now we're doing all like, you know, PD things, but I do want there to be like a culture in LSPD. Like, not even like a culture. I don't necessarily want it to be like different and, you know, like the SCSO or anything. But I do want it to be like, what's the word? Like, I just want us to have things to do that aren't necessarily just PD stuff. Like, I rolled out the district stuff today. I wrote out this stuff in LSPD Discord. I changed this to North LS, and I really want to get the little badges going. So we're gonna start like assigning people. I want to get that done by end of week. Is this end of week? No, this is Friday. I want to assign people by Friday. I have it working by Sunday. Did I end up merging the South site? Not yet. I'm kind of going to play it by ear because in Discord I posted a thing with like reacts to which ones you would prefer to be in, and I'll tell you right now, a lot of people want to be in North LS. A lot of people want to be up there. Oh my god, there's actually quite a few people. Again, I'm not expecting like a bunch of people. We only have 36 cops right now. How many of those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of those aren't involved, so that's 28 cops that I've got to split between 7 districts. So it's going to be about 4 per district with the amount of officers we have right now. And by the looks of it, the only one that... Actually, no, there's a few. So most people want to be in North LS so far. I only put it out like a couple hours ago. 3 have responded. So 9 want to be in North LS. 3 people said for Spoochie Beach, but you can vote for multiple. 4 for Central, 4 for East LS, and surprisingly, at least 4 people want to be in South 1, and at least 3 people want to be in South 2. And then 3 in Port District. So it's a good spread right now. And they're not going to be in duty all the time. Yeah, exactly. So it's a nice spread. But most people want to be up in Vinewood. But I put in the post as well that, like, we're not going to force anybody to patrol those districts. And then, secondly, what was the other thing? That we might consider, like, switching them up every few months. Is there a reason why you split South 1 and 2? My reasoning initially was there's a lot of gangs down there. So, you know, trying to play nice with every gang in the South side might be difficult. Whereas trying to build relations with a smaller group of Southside gangs would be easier with a, you know, more direct number of police officers. That was my thinking behind it, because it is quite dense down there. Yeah. So I also posted, it is a trial. Like, it is a trial that we're doing. So it's not set in stone, and we can change things up as we go. So yeah. Do I want to talk with Copper about the thing? Should we do MDW things? Fuck it, let's just do it. Yeah, 2.0 is definitely popping right now, for sure. It's gonna be hard to be neutral, exactly.
Hey, Dark.
Hey, Copper, you okay?
Yeah, I found a poor drug-selling degenerate on the street, and I'm gonna rehab them with gambling.
What?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a good idea, Olivia.
Okay, Dark. Point out to me any other program in this city that he would actually be able to go to, because there is none.
Well, why don't you make one?
Well, I'm experimenting right now.
You're experimenting with gambling as a cure for drug addiction.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. Listen,
Red never dead. Red never dead. Wow! Oh my God! I told you, dude.
Did you win?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Congratulations. Don't just stop. Just leave when you stop having fun. Okay.
We won $400,000.
What?
Let's walk away.
Okay. Okay. Good. Fantastic. Couple. Whenever you get a chance, could you teach me how to MDW, please?
Yeah. Do you wanna meet me at Beaver Bush?
Sure. I'll meet you there.
Okay. I'll head there.
All right. I'll see you soon.
All right. See you.
Bye. Can we play some time? Sure. Just get wireless, dude. Terry Olivia was weird. It's one thing I'm trying to do as Dark now, is whenever I talk to someone, when it's like not a necessarily a police related thing, if it's like a non-formal thing, I'm starting to call them by their first name. Some people have been freaked out by it so far. It's great. Gambling, just give them more. Yep, you're not wrong. Yeah, it's definitely not a it's not a proven method of curing an addiction yet. Not yet. Maybe soon. Means you're in trouble, Drew. 10 days until Dark and Darker, the beta test, is supposed to be coming out, whether or not it will or not. Oh God. Iris, what the fuck? Thank you for letting me know. Dispatch 400, 1041.
Copy that. Holding right on Del Perro. We're just on an A+ boost right now, Doc.
Gentle.
Right, westbound San Andreas. We could only do with maybe one more additional for paralleling. We're westbound San Andreas.
On scene, there was a motorbike occupied 2 times on white color car with green underglow.
Radio check.
VCB went through the alleyway last seen westbound of North Rockford.
I didn't see it pass westbound on Red Desert. Oh, it might be continuing northbound on
It's up ahead,
Brownstone.
northbound
Yeah.
Prosperity.
Hey, Stubble, what's this? Why is Iris in the ICU?
There was a situation over a BBMC traffic stop, which went into a 90-minute 4 or 5 vehicle squad. I had to authorize high-speed pits at 150 miles per hour. We got like 3 or 4 vehicles in custody. We had one of the incidents pitting at 100 miles per hour. I followed him. He shot at me, so then I shot him down. Then we got another suspect around Bolingbrook. We had 2 officers, Hover and Iris, with the 95. And I guess 2 suspects came back and shot down Hover and Iris. And Iris's wounds, it's going to be a prolonged stay to fix him. It wasn't just like all right, Kate's going to look at him in and out. So, I think there was complications with the surgery or whatever. So,
okay,
so she's got to
did
be
we get everybody in custody?
So the suspect we had in custody around Bolingbrook that they were shot over, she was broken out. But Iris and Holver were able to get the DNA on the shooter, and Holver was able to identify that suspect before they were broken out. So they now have 2 active warrants. I'm going to be placing bank tracking requests on both of those. And then hold on. Hey, Stubble. Yes, Stubble. HVTU, focus on this guy. Okay. All right, the entirety of HVTU know about them, and we'll be looking for them.
Great. Any approval you need for anything extra on that? Because I want these guys fucked. So anything you need, just let me know and I'll approve it.
Yeah, we'll do. There's not much we're looking for because the next level of hunting is normally for like holding to trial things. But anything that we can do, I'm already pushing for it.
Okay.
But if we want to do any operations, then I think we still need high command approval for UC. I have authorization for that.
You're approved for UC.
All right. Also, there might be situations where we need a helicopter.
Approved.
All right,
anything else?
Good to know. No, nothing that I can think of.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Trouble.
Right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Bye. Oh, damn it. Not Iris. Fuck Hover, but not Iris. Stubaz. Alright, let me do a quick announcement, actually.
I'm passing the clothing store. Right, southbound, disregard, eastbound still on highway.
We're in Channel 2.
Left northbound, east at Elgin Avenue.
Candice, would you be able to move to another channel, please?
Yes, of course. Do we have dispatch?
Negative.
Negative for the other channels.
You 357 find this channel.
Copy. Continue westbound Vinewood Boulevard. Oh god, they 50, sorry.
They hit like a car that then vanished immediately, and then we hit that.
Yeah.
It's unlucky.
99 Alpha, Channel 3. Channel 3, 99 Alpha.
Okay, I'm gonna do a quick announcement. UPD. Please be advised that Iris Nirvana. Oh fuck! I should spell her name right if she's in ICU. Has been admitted into ICU following a shootout. After receiving I before E except after C. Fuck. Injuries during a shootout with BBMC. Communication.
77 Channel 3, multiple interference vehicles.
905. Uniform 350 requesting at least 277 Channel 3 have 2 interference vehicles on the 99. 905.
Is there anybody else tonight? I'll remind you that 70
is.
Thank you.
Sorry.
This is a reminder that 77 requests aren't optional unless you're actively doing something. Hey, DOT.
He's getting a car fixed.
Okay, just throw them on your call sign, let them know that you're on the way. Iris would have responded. You goddamn right. Where am I going? You might cover a sensor. We're going to school with Copper. She's gonna teach us how to use the MDW, guys. Because all of High Command now have MDW config access, which is what Copper and Toretti have been doing for a long, and Copper's been doing it the longest than Toretti, which is all like the MDW backend shit with all the tags and I don't know what else, badges. You too, Counter, I appreciate it. I will be making tags. I want to make some for the districts. Hello.
Alright. Excellent. Hey, welcome to the Ranger Station.
Why are we here? This place is so...
You guys like it better than MRPD?
Okay, fair enough.
And that's, you know, less likely for you to get sidetracked by someone like, oh, dark, I need this, dark.
Yeah, that's very true. I haven't been here in ages.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty cool. Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Let me see. I know I'm not LSPD, but I put in my preferred districts.
Oh, you did? Oh, great.
Yeah. Like, I want this one, this one, this one, this one.
God damn it, Copper.
Sorry. Do you want me to?
No, it's okay. It's all right.
Okay. Take out your MDW.
Yes.
And you're going to see in the bottom left config.
Yes.
Okay.
Shall I click it?
Yeah, so I want you to make a new tab at the top and then click config.
Oh, okay.
And you see these 6 tabs that are at the top. That's badges, reports, tags, staff, permissions, and charges. So the first one that you're going to default on is always going to be badges.
Okay.
This is where you print badges. But before we print badges, we always double check and make sure everything is updated. because once the badge is created, and if it's wrong, then you have to go back and do all your work again. That makes sense?
That makes it. Is that? Do we check that in the staff page?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So usually when I'm doing badges, people do requests, and the request is on a spreadsheet. I used to have a link for each department that all goes into one spreadsheet. Treddy made it because he used to be my only backup. But I want the rest of, I guess it really doesn't matter now. But I'm hoping that all the members of High Command that I'm teaching this stuff actually help me with this stuff.
Of course.
Nice. So that's just badges. If you click on the drop down, everything is by first name. So you can, for instance, click on the drop down and do like, oh, for Olivia, and it will jump to O's, and then you can see all the first name. I wish that it was last name, but I don't know in what world you categorize people by their first name.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It sounds like a European thing, so I don't question it.
What? No, I mean, my phone's categorized by last name.
No, first name. Like who, what?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm European, and I do it by last name, so I don't know where the first name thing.
I think it's a Dutch thing, actually.
Oh, okay.
Not Dutch.
So specific. All right.
Okay, so let me try and break down how it works. You're making permissions within permissions within permissions. So you're just it's kind of like a tree. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like with branches and shit. Of course. Yeah, definitely. I understand everything.
Exactly. I think we're going to try working in reverse because I try to work from the ground up with Soze and Clarkson, and it kind of went sideways.
Yeah, those guys are stupid.
Oh my God. Take that back.
I take that back.
Okay. So you see charges?
Yes.
We never touch charges.
Okay.
That's for the DOJ.
That's DOJ, so that makes sense.
And the Senate.
So if I went on here, out of curiosity, if I went on here and made running the traffic light fine you $1 million, how bad would that be?
Well, it would automatically update and then charge people. Like it would do all the math inside the MDW of like what you're supposed to charge people.
Oh, yeah.
That's all it would do is just change the values in the MDW.
Okay. Makes sense. All right.
Because nobody can do math and everybody depends on the MDW.
Yeah.
Okay. So we never touch charges. It's like it never exists. Also, I don't think it affects. Yeah, this is just charges. Okay, so permissions. Let's type in your state ID. What is it?
21. Ooh. Hold on.
20. You don't know your state ID.
Sorry, 2154. It was loading, and I was worried that I don't know. So I stopped speaking. 2154.
Okay, so with the MDW, you just have to be very, very patient. And the stuff that we're doing, especially in the permissions are the most taxing, like search query function that's inside the MDW. So it will take a long time to generate all of the data because you're accessing every state ID and it's filtering through which values have what positions have a value and giving you what that value is. Does that make sense?
Yes. And I think I understand this page.
Okay. So we're working in reverse. You could see based off of the profile ID, which is your 2154, all of the access that you have. Now, those things kind of don't matter because you have config and there's you get all permissions basically in that. Ignore the ID in this except for when you're assigning things. So let's look at yours. You have 17, 20. So you can look over on the left-hand side. You have 20, which is strikes view. You have 17, which is bulletin board edit, right?
Yeah.
So do you see how the ID for those roles in the left hand
It's the role
is
ID on the
assigned
right.
an ID number and then goes over for the role ID here.
Yeah.
So that is how you assign permissions to a person.
Okay.
Now we're going to keep working in reverse. What goes along with that permission? What does it mean to have strike view or FTO edit or bulletin board edit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now we are going to go to reports.
And reports. Just a quick question. Under the... So on permissions, underneath, like, let's say bulletin board edit, so one of the permissions, if you click permissions, what happens? Are we ever going to be doing that? Like, is that a thing?
Let me work in reverse, and then we're going to come back to that. So, like I said, you have all of these. Oh my God, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know if I'm talking.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to work in reverse, but it's going to kind of jump back and forth because you have to check your work. As it stands right now, I can't delete some things. So there's some fuck ups in this because of either the MDW lagging or for whatever reason, I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing.
Hey, you were only one person. It's okay.
Well, I had Toretti. Toretti doesn't touch some parts of it because he's afraid of fucking it up. So most of the fuck ups are me.
Fair
and
enough.
Experimenting. Okay, so like I said, you have a state ID, so I can assign privileges or permissions to that person. But what goes into that permission, like you said, that's white permission button.
Right.
That is in reports. So remember that permission button. So strikes view, what goes along with that? That means that you can do certain things to different reports and different portions of the MDW, and that's controlled in the report section. So let's click on reports.
Okay, I'm there.
So again, all of these have IDs, so we can assign those IDs to what we want people to do. So everything is kind of broken down. There's FTO reports, which is a program that Malton was trying to do in the SCSO. I don't know if he's continuing with that, but it was an experiment. Instead of having the FTO progress and reports and like the status of cadets being an out of city document, we were going to try and put everything in the MDW, and it works. It actually does work. It's just people would have to be trained on it. And
yeah,
Malton was working in a small group. So anyway, DOC has an internal affairs, so they have edit for that. IA reports, FBI, FIP reports. So all of these are controlled by permissions. So I have permissions for staff, for the permissions when I assign things, that only allows certain people of that department or that certification to be able to access these reports. And these are basically just reports that exist. And then, say that again?
Sorry, I was going to ask a question, but I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
So let's say on the permissions tab, you have like strikes view, for example.
Mm-hmm.
How does that correlate to the reports tab?
Strikes view is a back-end thing with the IT people.
Right.
It just exists, and we don't edit any of it.
Okay,
it's just
it doesn't
a function.
correlate. All right. Okay,
Yeah.
makes sense.
It's
But
a
then-
function that relates with a // command that we type up, and then that / command reflects in the MDW. So
Makes
that's how
sense.
you assign by your state ID value for strikes, and then you can type in the field of like what it is, why that person got those strikes, right?
Makes sense. So just a quick question, just to make sure I'm on the right page. So the permissions tab, you assign an ID to somebody, and that permission that they get given with that ID will include like access to reports, like certain reports.
Certain reports and certain functionality in the MDW.
Right,
So
that makes sense.
They'll either be able to view a report or edit that report. So you can give them permission to view and to edit. And you can also give them the permission to view certain aspects of the MDW, such as bolos and bulletin boards and various things. And permissions to be able to edit those things.
Makes sense.
So what also comes along with this you can have access to edit a lot of things, such as the legislation, which is another thing that you never touch.
Yeah, okay.
There's things with businesses as well you never touch. You'll have access to, like I said, DOC reports and DOC internal affairs. You don't see them.
Yeah.
Yes. You also have access to all medical reports.
Okay.
Which might kind of screw with you, but you don't see them. You have to still go through the same channels. You get it, but
yeah,
some titles are a little. You're like, oh fuck, and you have to just move on.
I think because I've seen that already. I think what I'm going to do, whenever I go into like the reports tab, I'm just going to like make sure I choose a thing that I'm looking for, like investigative report or something. I'm just not going to look at the whole list.
So you get the gist. So if you look at this, you can see, in the very beginning incident report, every officer has those permissions. It's actually under permission 7. So they will be able to view or edit. And we determine the view and edit in the permission when we go in there. That's that white button. Does that make sense?
I figured as much. Yeah.
Right. So now we're going to jump back to permission and we'll look at a example.
All right, let me load it.
And mine's loading too. Takes a bit.
Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I can't tell.
Like I said, it takes a while. Also, the ID number, it's not ranked by importance.
Is it like creation?
It's just a value. Yeah, it's just in the order it was created.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Same with the staff stuff, which we'll go into. That the staff stuff it gets deeper. But the more that you understand this back end part with the permissions, it'll make the staff part 10 times easier.
I've got a question.
Yeah, what's up?
So when we hire someone like with their state ID, does it automatically give them like role 7 or
no?
No, it does. So like for example, dispatchers.
We will go to that. That's the next thing.
Okay. All right.
But still in permissions, let's look at ID number 7, which is PD edit. And you can see that number 4 is PD view only. So we have a view only was like a thing for, I think, dispatch. But it changed. I don't think anybody has PD view only because at certain stages there were things that we needed and things that we didn't need. And then as we progressed, we created different controls of who manages different things. And so it made a lot of permissions obsolete because we kind of matured.
I just had a really good idea.
But I can't delete really anything. The deleted function that you see at the bottom of these, you change it to 1. And that just means that item will no longer be that won't function and it's not viewable, but it still exists. Okay. So you can undo and give it a 0. And a lot of the time I repurpose it. But when it comes to permissions, they're so either you can or you cannot that there's no way to repurpose them.
Okay.
You have to just make a new one. What?
No, it makes sense. Yeah. Good.
Yeah. So let's look at number 7, PD edit. This is the basic ability that you have as a cop. So you can view. Click it? Yeah. And you'll have this tiny little window that shows up. In the first drop down for the permission, you have all these different options that you're going to assign this permission. And again, these are the permissions that you assign to state IDs. So you can, depending on what category, you can give them the permission to view or edit for reports.
Okay, yeah.
So you see reports, view, reports, edit. Let's look at so category 1 on this, the very first one, if you're looking at current, it says reports view category 1, which is incident reports, right? And then the police, I also want them to reports edit that category so they can create and delete and do all sorts of stuff to incident reports, right?
How do we know which category is which?
I'm so glad you asked that. Open a new tab, go to config, go to reports. It's by the ID, that green number. Again, the number value doesn't matter. It's just
it's just the report ID.
Yeah, so you're just assigning numbers and assigning them again.
Oh, perfect. Okay, yeah.
So I wanted them to view and edit report ID number 1. And if I look in reports, it says it's incident reports. I also want them to view and edit ID number 2, which is investigative reports. So when it comes to creating these permissions, and when I was assigning and creating all of these things, that's why there's some fuck ups, because I would forget what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I would get confused. And I would
you
have
can't
to
edit
stop
these?
No, I can't.
Oh,
and,
I see.
It's like you know, I would really, really like for it to rain. And
yeah,
I could be like, wow, wouldn't it be great if it rained? And whether or not it happens, I don't know. And then I ask, but then at the same time, I'm afraid to ask because nobody wants to help with this.
Oh, why? Is it like too difficult to mess with or something?
No, it's just a kick in the dick.
Oh,
Deal with.
okay, yeah.
Okay, so I make do with what I have. Okay,
Yeah.
so go back to your config tab. That is the permission.
Permissions, yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So let's still look at 7, and you could see in the categories. Let's do like a mock thing. If you were, but we're not going to save any of this, you would go to the permission and even though it exists, you would go down to the drop down reports view category, and you would type in the number of the report you want them to view. So it'd be reports view category, ID number 1, and then I would click save.
Yes.
But it's already in here.
Yes.
So you can see how they can view and edit category 3, they can view category 8, and they can view and edit category 10. I think 8 is like bulletin boards because we only wanted like command or something to be handling the bulletin board as like a, shift control of announcements. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So this is how the permissions work and how you assign permissions to people. The default for the PD is what?
Sorry, just to check, like if I don't even know what we would make. If we made like a different bulletin board / bolo type thing, if we like allowed everybody to view that, it wouldn't show up on the default page. Something else has to be done for that to like show up on the front page, right?
Yeah, one of the IT people would have to go in and kind of create that window or widget to exist there.
Okay.
But it's the same assignment. And the thing is with these permissions, like we can rename the bulletin board. Like I think in this, you can go in here and call it like, I don't know, Tiny Hand People Club.
Yeah.
And it will be called Tiny Hand People Club. And I will give people certifications for being in the Tiny Hand People Club. And they would be able to view or edit whatever that is. Oh,
hell yeah. I like that. I've already thought of something but I don't want to like say it yet. I'll say it at the end of something I want to maybe do with this. But quick question. ID number 10 for the report ID is lawyer view only. Is that for legislation?
So there's a lot in here.
Oh wait, no, I'm an idiot. I'm not thinking properly. Sorry.
No. You're on the right thing, and that's something I need to touch on because you're going to see a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. Like if you go to number 2, special prosecution unit view only, we don't have special prosecutors anymore, and there's a lot of things. Like I said, I can create things, but let's say now it has no purpose, and like the bulletin board that I can change to the Tiny Hand People Club. I can repurpose permissions. I just have to go through and find all the people with that permission and either remove it or like change what's going on. So I can reuse a lot of things in here once it's created, and that's what I try to do. I try not to always make more
new things.
Because, oh my god, it's just a lot. And it gets very overwhelming sometimes, and then you're just like, wait, where was I again?
Yeah, I was just looking at the wrong thing. I looked at ID 10 in permissions instead of ID 10 in reports to try and figure out what